And what's up, y'all? Welcome to another episode of Nights at the Round Table. Tis your boy, Manweezy, and I am joined tonight with some lovely ladies. We got Giselle. Giselle, where are you hailing from?
Atlanta, Georgia.
Atlanta, ATL, Dirty South. And we got Bobise out in Cali. And your boy, Manny.
Technically, I'm out in these streets in Utah. But
oh, yes, you're in Utah. Oh, yeah, I did see you. Okay, good. I'm in Nashville. So we are literally hailing from every part of the country. We're going to have Chantae join us hopefully soon. So we'll add her in when she gets here. But tonight, guys, we're going to be talking about dating in 2023. And more importantly, ladies, because this is what it is, okay? I'm not trying to call it out, but y'all are currently, and I don't think you should be, but you're currently single, correct? Well, Giselle is.
I am.
Bobise is.
Sip that, Elyse.
Elyse is in her. Bobise, are we allowed to say? Can we? What can?
No,
we?
I'm not married.
But you are current.
I'm allowed to say I have a boyfriend.
Okay.
I'm allowed to say I have a boyfriend.
Okay, so Bobise has a boyfriend. Giselle is out here still trying to make it happen. And what I want to talk about today is, or I think what we should talk about, because I know a lot of women ask this all the time, is like, it's easy to get a man to come over to do the scandalous stuff. But how do you get a dude to commit? And starting off with that, Giselle, what's the longest relationship you've ever been in?
My ex and I were engaged. I ended the engagement about a year ago. So yeah, that was my longest and most serious. And to be honest, it was actually very quick. We were together for like a year and we were already on the track for marriage. We thought we were older and in these streets already, like knowing what we wanted, and obviously didn't work out.
And he was older than you?
Yeah, he was older than me.
Interesting.
5 years.
Okay, and is that typically your type, the older?
Now it is. I'm noticing that, yes, because I feel like I've always been an old soul. I know what I want, and I want someone who's there. You know, these young bucks out here, they try to play too much. I don't got time for that.
Okay, and see, that brings me to the thing. Okay, y'all let me know. This is what I want to know. Top 3 things in order of importance of what a woman is looking for in a man. From your perspective, what's the top 3 things? And be honest. Don't freaking, I don't want to hear like, be 100%.
Not in order of importance. Okay, let me say that up front. First of all, we have a nail missing. It's a mess. I would say chemistry is very important.
Wait, because that already is a.
You see that, Giselle? It's like just like as soon as I open
my
mouth.
Because chemistry is one of those things that is very hard to define. It's different for every person. So when you say chemistry, what do you mean?
I mean,
because if you can't define it, how do you know?
You cannot force. I'm not talking about are they hot? Like, I'm not talking about like, oh, they're so hot, we have chemistry. You might not have chemistry. I mean, it's that intangible that's like there is an attraction there.
Okay, wait. You said a couple things already. And the real reason I'm stopping you is because women use chemistry a lot. And when asked to define it, yes, more so than men. Men are rarely like chemistry. It's just very much you're hot, you're not, whatever. But when you say chemistry needs to be there, you first use the word connection and then you use attraction. Those are 2 different things. So when you speak, we're
getting into semantics.
No, I want Bobise to define chemistry to her. So what do you mean by chemistry when you say chemistry needs to be there?
I mean, in chemistry, I mean, I did fail science, obviously, but not obviously, well, probably obviously. But when 2, the things on the chemical board, I don't know, when they come together as a reaction, science is not my thing.
Elements, I got
you. Thank you, Giselle.
I don't. You gotta.
Manny's like, you're not trying to let me be great. Manny, can I try to explain without you interrupting, and then you can interrupt?
Are you going to explain what chemistry means to you?
I'm going to try.
Okay, I've been waiting. I haven't said anything. I'm waiting for you to tell me what chemistry means.
I think that chemistry to me, like I said, it is the intangible. So it's very difficult to explain, but it's something that makes me makes me curious about the other person. If we're talking about are we talking about on a first meeting or as you get to know someone?
It's literally no wrong answer. It's what it means to you.
Like I've said a wrong answer.
No, I'm just literally, here's why I say this. Here's why it's so important. Because if I'm said guy interested in Bobise and she tells me the most important thing or one of the most important things is chemistry, but yet she cannot define chemistry, then what the hell is she looking for? So I can define the things that I'm looking for, and then that guy can enact that. But if she says something like, "Oh, the spark," what does the spark mean? And how do we know that we found it?
Because otherwise you have to, it's something that you can't conjure up. You can't, like, the other things you can get better at. There is a certain amount, I think, of relationship that is just there. That's why I think that there's never just the one person for you. I think there's multiple people that you can be with for the rest of your life, but there's not everyone on the planet. You walk out on the street, Manny, and you're not going to look at everyone and be like, yep, every single woman out here I could be with. There are certain women that are highlighted that you're like, oh, there's something there immediately that is different from the other women that I meet.
But I know what it is.
Okay, well,
does that make sense? The only reason I say that is because I have to be able to describe it when it happens. If you literally cannot define what chemistry is to you, then how the hell do you know it's happening? Because if it's just feeling, if it's a feeling, then that's not permanent.
It's like a reaction. It's like
Okay, so what are you reacting to, I guess would be the question. And if you don't have an answer, that's fine. It's
chemistry.
Just... Okay. Okay, so chemistry.
Let me chime in for a second.
Please.
Look, I've evolved over time with this, because at the beginning, catch me a few years ago, and I would have been like, oh, he needs to look like this and like that and like that. You know what I'm saying? It was very superficial. Yeah. Now I'm sitting here digging in, asking questions off rip. Like, I get to meet someone, and yes, obviously my eyes are my eyes. I'm attracted. You're thinking, I like this person. Like, you know, something physically you're attracted to, so that already catches my eye. Sometimes someone approaches me and I'm not attracted to them physically, but I give them the chance for let's talk. Let's see if we have something where we're connecting on a mental level, right? So I ask questions off rip, for example, like, you know, what does God mean to you in your life? What are some of your sex expectations? Like, let's talk about sex off rip, because I need to know what you're thinking, and we'll get to that a little bit later, because I've met crazy men out here in these streets trying to do Cirque du Soleil kind of stuff, you know, just all over the place. And you know, so I just ask those kind of questions, and I see if mentally are we on the same page. I ask them all kinds of things, and that takes away the spark.
Okay, so then what would be the three? Bobis, I still want you to finish. What would be your three?
I got you.
Do you?
Yes, I very much so. And we got Chantae here. I love you, Bobis.
I love you.
Sorry about that, guys.
What's up?
Hello.
Chantae, you came in the right time. We're literally discussing what are the top 3 things that y'all look at when you get with a man. Bobis has said chemistry. I asked her to define it.
The wrong answer.
No, I asked her to define it. She wasn't able to, but she's going to tell us the next 2. Right now, Giselle is telling us her top 3.
Okay, go ahead. Tell us, Giselle, your top 3.
Listen, Linda, I'm over here trying to I'm looking at your maturity and / emotional awareness.
Okay.
Are you available?
Okay. Yep.
Emotionally. All right, that's 1-ish. 2, yes, I need to feel some kind of spark. But when it comes to a physical attraction, there's definitely that part comes into play, because I have to imagine myself with you.
Okay, great. So your spark is physical attraction. Way to define it.
There's part of it. Yeah, that is definitely part of it for me. Sorry, it is.
That's good. No, that's good.
I think I need to find out if that person and I, we share a lot of mutual values. The value system.
That's great. Okay, Bobis, your last 2. Chemistry.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm going back to chemistry. I'm not done with chemistry, Manwell.
Okay.
Because chemistry is what I have realized is that I used to call it a physical attraction, but then I started to meet people that I could recognize objectively. Yeah, you're hot, but there isn't chemistry because their personality was just or there was. There was just so much arrogance there that their face was a freaking god, but their personality, I was like, you're gross as a human, and it takes away chemistry. So it isn't just a superficial layer, it is all of it combined. There is a curiosity that makes me continue, and there is the spark. And so I know that it's difficult to define, but I'm okay with that one not being as well defined, because I am and have met people that I'm like, physically I might not look at you at first, but then we had this conversation and you and I went back and forth with our sarcasm and that.
Okay, so then what I hear you saying is, for you, chemistry is personality compatibility. It's everything that is not about the visual. You're connecting on an emotional and mental level. Like their personality is doing
But
something
also,
for you.
if they, yes, for sure. And also, like, there's a tiny bit of the physical.
And if you look good,
Just be honest.
Girl, I feel you.
Thank you, Giselle. Thank
It
you.
doesn't need to be everything, but
I'm not
it's
saying it
just like
does, but
a
at least
tiny-
it is
it's
part of it.
all of that in one. You only gave me 3, and so that's why I was combining them in one with chemistry.
Okay.
I think one that's really important is that they're adulting well, like their life response, they take care of
maturity,
their stuff.
yeah.
Their finances are in order. They have a car that they keep clean, and it speaks to so much more than just do they have a clean car.
Mhm.
Like, do they have that? And then I would add in there references as my third one. So like community/character, I think it speaks to. So
Okay.
I want to know who are your people and what do they say about you, not your homeboy that wingman's like crazy. I want to meet your family. I want to know what they think about you. I want to know who your long-term relationships are, because that to me speaks to character. Thank you so much for listening to my TED Talk.
Okay, so
At least
you
we
got
see the credit report.
I mean,
Girl.
I do want to see their credit report. Absolutely.
you got chemistry/personality traits. Then you got maturity, right? And then you got their circle, their community makes a big deal for you. Okay.
Did I get the right answer?
So maturity was the one that you shared with Giselle. So, okay, Chantae, am I saying that right, Chantae?
yes, that is correct.
Like all Chantae?
Hello.
Chantae, meet Manny. Manny, meet
That's
Chantae.
Hi, Manny. It's so great to meet you.
Well, now I'm meeting you real quick because I want to know your top 3.
Yeah.
Candid and honest.
I am so horrible with any type of narrow this down because I'm not a narrow down person. It's like I have too many choices or I have none at all.
Mm.
Don't worry. Manuel will make you narrow it down. So
Yeah.
let's just get started and see what happens.
Yes, my ADD is going everywhere right now, guys. Okay. So top 3, because you guys named some really good ones. I'm just gonna
You can agree with them
because humor is definitely a big part, and I know that kind of goes along with personality traits or but I want them to think I'm the most funniest thing in the world. I mean, I would love for us to make each other laugh because I love to laugh so much. Like, I think it's healing, it's medicine. It's just one of those things that if we can vibe from a humor perspective, that's not necessarily a foundational point, but it's icing on the cake.
Okay. Humor.
And also I want to know, like, not just how they'll treat me, but how they'll treat other people. Like, are they kind to other people that they're not interested to?
So kind of like community, like what Bobise is saying, like how they are operating in their community.
Very,
Yep.
very close to the things that she was saying.
Cool.
Yeah, and someone just that is not gonna be someone that is not gonna let like a moment of, I guess I really vibe hard with ongoing conversation, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
the
Communication.
banter,
Yeah.
as Elyse said. But how well can we vibe in all areas of life, not just the things that are most important or least, but just across the board. Like, what is the vibe like?
Okay.
So I'm yes.
So
I'm checking all
vibe,
those things.
community, humor. Okay.
Yes.
So then this leads to my next question, which I hope
knew he was leading.
everybody can be honest. Okay. Because I've been with Bobise when we were on the apps. Okay. So there's no, let's be honest.
On the apps, just for everybody.
Let's be honest. In season 1,
listen to it.
we went on the apps.
That's fine.
What do you guys put in your filters when you're looking for a man?
Do you remember what I don't even remember what I put in mine. I put
Age.
Okay, so age, which is it?
Christianity.
Age, belief.
And to be super real with you, I also put in race at this point in stage of the game.
No, that's good because look,
because I know what I want.
The irony is, okay, now you're looking at these 3 things. Okay, don't forget those. So age, race, and religion. Bobise, do you remember yours?
I think they would have changed those since that first season, which was it 2019, 2018, I think. So
but you've been on the apps recently, or you know what I mean by recent.
Okay, don't get me in trouble. Not
yeah,
too
yeah,
recently.
no.
Calm down.
You know what I mean.
Manwell, let's not start something over here.
Last time you were on the apps, what was it?
No, not recently. I would put in age as important, I think.
Okay.
I used to put in height, which I don't anymore, because to me, I realized over 6 foot, my experience came that they like just thought they were a shoo-in, because there's that joke, like as long as it's over 6 foot. Guys heard that joke, girls. They heard it and they went with it. And then the ones that are over 6 foot that are single were like, here I am, you do the rest. And they had no personality.
So now you're okay with somebody being shorter than you?
Yeah. Yeah, I would be. I'd be open to it, is what I would say.
Yeah. So if he was 5'6", it wouldn't matter.
Yeah. Like, how funny is he?
I'm just saying, if height doesn't matter, if he was 5'6", it doesn't matter.
Like, not 5'6". No.
Yeah, look, I'm not. Look, we have to.
Let me say this.
Yes, Chantae.
I have talked to people that were shorter than me that did not make me feel short by any means. It was like they were confident in who they were. You know what I'm saying? They were very confident in who they were, and they made me feel like, you know, I'm the littlest girl in the world.
Okay,
so
cool.
It's about how they carry it, you know.
How good.
Play into their everyday.
And that's like,
okay,
for real, that has been something that I have realized, and that's kind of what I was saying. You said it way better. Was that like, I've met the most like confident and charismatic people that would have been filtered out because of my filters, that I'm so glad that I met in real life, because on an app, like, I had my filters on. And so I would definitely put age, just because there's like too many 50-year-olds out there that I'm like, for me, I'm good, thanks. I would put belief, for sure, has been one of mine.
Okay.
And then I would put, is it bad that I felt like if they put that they didn't drink? Oh, this is going to get me in so much trouble.
No,
this is what happens.
Just be honest.
I just was like, people that
don't drink.
Don't drink. Sometimes I have found in my experience on the dating app world, it meant that they were extremely judgmental of me, or they were way too serious way too quickly. So for me, that's a bit of a random one that I would probably put on, of like, I don't mean like,
no, that's good.
Every night. Do you drink? Let's all drink all the time. Let's have shots at 10 a.m.
For sure.
I mean, like, hey, can you have a good time? Can you come and have a drink with me and my friends? Like,
okay, so you would filter out people who say that they don't drink. You're not
only on the apps.
Okay. So this is interesting. So, and y'all two both said age. So when you say age, what's the lowest cutoff?
For me, I'm 33. Wow. I'd probably say 27 or 28. But if you're 27, you got to be bringing it.
Right.
Because that's young, my guy.
Yeah.
Like,
okay, so 27. And then for you, Giselle?
My age, 37.
37.
Start there.
Okay.
Oh, so you won't go
that's
under
good.
at all.
Yeah.
Nah, it's been my experience that they're super immature for me.
Okay.
So
that's okay. That's honest. Okay, and then Chantae, what would be your 3 that you would put in your dating app?
Oh, because guess what? I've never done a dating app ever in my whole entire life.
I have questions.
Ever.
Oh, you haven't? Okay.
Ever.
So in a hypothetical sense, if you were filtering out things, what would you filter out?
What would I filter out?
Would age be one of them?
I think do I have a limit? I mean, I'm gonna say somewhere like I can do like a little decade situation.
Like a decade younger?
A decade younger.
Okay.
And
okay.
What was Giselle? Okay, I'm just saying.
Live your life. A decade younger.
Based off of information that I've already.
How old are you, Chantae?
Yeah.
I'm 38.
Okay, so you go 28.
Yeah, it's not bad. 28 is not bad. Okay.
Yeah.
Does race matter?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so.
And then does religion matter?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. So we're all pretty much, do you think it's ironic that the initial answers, the first 3 things, don't match these current filters?
See, I knew I was being set up.
I'm not. I'm just saying, do you think it's like, which one feel more true? Which one feel more?
I feel like mine do match. I'm looking for mature. I said I'm looking for maturity, and that's why my
That
age
goes with
is
age.
there.
Yep. Keep going.
What else did I say? I don't even
You didn't
remember
say
anymore.
race before.
I didn't say race before.
No. Nope.
But it kind of goes with the value system because I've talked to
Yeah.
all different types of races and people, and there's just some at this point in my life as a woman of color that I need someone who's either understanding of the Latino experience or the Black experience, and I don't have to go home to Mima and she's like, who's this Black girl that you just brought home? I don't need that in my life. So
guess what? My grandma was Mima.
do it. Sorry, I have to have
Okay.
someone who's like
My
with
grandma
it.
was Mima.
Okay, well, this is the thing. Like, if you match your answers, like Bobise, I don't think your answers matched.
Well, because it's not a filter for chemistry.
But that's why I'm asking you guys to tell me which
That's
one
why
do you feel more
online
true?
dating-
Which
That's
feels
why
more
online
true?
dating didn't go well for me. Because people can go back and see. It resulted in nothing for me. And yes, I have been on dates that were from online dating. My own experience was that it wasn't a match. I think online dating is good for everyone to experience. I think it opens your mind to being surprised by the unexpected. And I think it was a great thing. It was a great experience. It was a great practice for me. But at the end of the day, I'm such a in-person vibe, chemistry vibe person. Maybe I should have led with that, Giselle, not chemistry, because Manny would have liked it more. But like in person, like what are we like in person? And if we can just like either you get my humor or you can keep up with it, because I don't need someone to keep up with it. My brain works way too fast for even me. But like if someone can appreciate it and be with me in it and be like, I don't know where we are, but I'm with you in it. I'm like, that's fine. That's all we need. Like that doesn't happen so much online. That happens in person. And so I think my filters for online dating were a little bit misjudged and a little bit misled because I mean, how do you filter? Do you have chemistry in real life? Yeah, for sure. Like you can't do that until you're with someone. Like I had a guy that I met online that we vibed on text. Anybody else? We had a chemistry with text. I don't know if that's a thing, but it's a
For
thing.
sure,
And
yeah,
people
no.
It
will
is.
know what
It
I'm talking
definitely
about.
is.
We
It
had
definitely
a freaking homeboy and I could have had the best relationship. We met up for a drink, and when I tell you, we sat there in silence to the point where I was like putting my nails into my legs because it was physically painful. I was like, oh, this man doesn't know how to be in social situations.
Yeah.
That's like there's nothing online that can be a filter for that.
Yeah, no, I feel that. Was somebody gonna say something? Or amen that?
I was gonna ask a question, Elyse, in that situation. What do you think it was like an introverted type thing, or maybe like in text, it's easy to hide behind certain things, or
yeah, I think that
was
for
the reason?
us, I was also I'm kind of who I am in text. Like a lot of my friends will say that I text how I talk. And so for me, that's like a great compliment because I also love writing. So I love that my voice comes through on text. His didn't. And so in real life, I was like, oh, this person, I don't know. They had just spent so much time online that like they knew how to do that, but they didn't know how to just like be present. Like he wasn't like he was on his phone. Like I've also been on dates where guys are just like on their phone. I'm like, are we good, fam? Like we got off the apps. Like let's not be on them at dinner, you know? But like for me, it was just like this it's hard to describe. Like he was socially aware, but just not like high skill, or maybe he wasn't socially aware.
Well, I think
It's just like
I think the answer would be, and especially like if I'm speaking as a guy, when it comes to texting with you, I have enough time to develop my quippy responses. I have enough time to develop some kind of response. I can type and delete.
exactly.
I can ask a friend.
But now we're in real time. Yeah.
Now we're in real time, and and I'm gonna say something. Do not get mad at me. Okay,
Well,
girls, do not get mad at me.
It's fine.
I'm gonna say something, and it's not sexist.
Okay.
I promise it's not
You know when
sexist.
he leads with that?
Here's
Anyone. What I'm about to say is not sexist.
It's not sexist. It's not sexist. Or you know what? Let me pose it as a question. That's better. Who do you think?
Text, delete. You just did that right now. Live.
Who do you think has a harder time on a first date? The guy or the girl?
I don't have a hard time. I don't have a hard time, so I'm gonna say it's not me.
Okay.
It's not
I,
you, girl.
I have an answer, but Bobise, who do you think?
Chantae, what do you think?
Harder time on first date. Okay, what do you mean by harder time? As in trying to make this a successful?
Correct. Yes.
Maybe more responsibilities on a guy since he's
Yeah.
supposed to be, I don't know,
Yep. No. Yeah. Yeah.
the facilitator.
Mm-hmm.
Not really sure.
Bobise
I think it depends
on.
because my natural personality is to win people over. So, but I would say on a first date, I feel pretty confident. The only thing I'm thinking about is there was a first date last year that I was so nervous on. I couldn't even look him in the eye. And he was so chill. Now he's my boyfriend. So nailed that one. But like that's the only other time I can think of. Got him for now. Just kidding. Oh my gosh, if you listen to this, I like you so much. Please don't go anywhere. Please don't abandon me.
I'm asking objectively speaking, because you're talking about when you felt comfortable or not. We're talking about
I'm
objectively.
just talking about my experience.
So what,
I don't know other women, but objectively, like no, by and large, I feel like the first date is easier for me than it is for the guy.
okay. So that can probably help you answer the question, because for sure, if we agree in the society that we live in, the onus is on the dude to not mess up. And there's a myriad of ways he can mess up. Somebody said it earlier. Bobise, I think you did. You said, if his car isn't clean, that says something. If he shows up in the wrong attire, it says something. If he doesn't open the door, if he doesn't book the restaurant in advance.
I think guys have the same thing, but they're just different.
How so?
I think guys, it's all about, are we going to make an assumption on the first date or are we going to give someone another go? And I think that guys have their own things that says something about the woman, how she dresses, how loud she is, how opinionated she is. Does she ask questions or will she just be the pretty little quiet girl that just like has one glass
So
of wine
you're talking about,
and will order a salad?
Yeah, you're talking about preferences. I'm talking about expectations.
See, I've let go of those expectations personally. And this is why when I meet someone, even online, like I'm different, I guess, because I just go to the nitty. Like I'll say, look, these are the things that I don't want to
go on a date with Giselle.
Listen, y'all, give me a plan. Let's do a little group date.
We did. That's how we all met. We were on a lunch date.
So basically it's that, like, because I am such a non-traditionalist and I don't like the ideas of that. Men have to be like this, women have to be like this. Like, I just want the person to be themselves. And I actually, even today I was discussing with someone and I was like, you knew that he's going to hear this. You know who I'm talking about. You know, I'm talking about you right now. I was like, you know that I've been speaking at an event all week and you haven't asked me yet, because I've been super busy. You haven't asked me how I've been doing. How's it been going? Like, I've been super busy with it. But he has a lot going on right now. But I'm giving him the chance to be able to tell me, but I don't like playing those games of like, oh, he didn't tell me, so I'm just going to feel some kind of way. Like, I'm going to just tell you, you haven't told me and this is how I feel about it. What's up? And I gave him a chance to be able to reply. And he replied well.
Well, see, that's and this is the important thing. Cause I the reason I call it out is not like we have to agree on a baseline as far as the culture and how society dates. So you are different, Giselle, just like I'm not a traditionalist. Like most men that are traditional believe women need to be a certain thing and the guy is the guy and they make the money and that's the traditional way of being. I am so far from traditional, it's not even funny. But even being out of traditional, I can acknowledge what are the social norms in America. And I want us to be able to acknowledge them only because then that allows you to extend grace. So when I say, it's more difficult for a man on a first date, it's because whether we like it or not, there have been societal norms that have been set up that there is a gauntlet of things that we need to do right just to make a good impression. Right. Bobise was correct in saying, we're looking at, what are guys looking at when you show up? They don't care what car you drive. They don't care what you're wearing and what you look like. That's the first thing they're going to notice and be like, shit, this date's already going great. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like what I see. It's all love. For y'all, it's a little bit different because you do notice, oh, he didn't hold the door open for me. Oh, he showed up 5 minutes late. He showed up, you know what I'm saying?
I think lateness speaks to something different than holding a door open
So you're never affected if a guy doesn't open your car door or a restaurant door.
Nope.
It doesn't even go through your mind.
My guy does
It
that.
definitely goes through my mind.
Okay.
Because I notice everything. I'm
You do?
noticing all the things.
Thank
I
you,
may not be
Chantae.
affected, but I'm noticing.
See, but that's my point. Like, if we can be honest, these are things that we're subconsciously affected by because of how we were romanticized.
But I'm not easily impressed. And I think men at this stage in my life, men know what they're supposed to do. Honey, men know what they're supposed to do. And so they practice all those moves and all those things. I could sniff it kind of sometimes from a mile away. I want you to be authentic. I'm trying to get to, like I said, the nitty. Don't just do all the steps that you're going through in your mind. Like, oh, I have to hold the door open. I have to do this. Because you might just not be a good guy at the end of the day. Like, I'm trying to get to
And I fully...
The performed chivalry does not take away from your bad personality or your other bad traits, like who you are as a person.
Agreed. And I can agree with all the things that you're saying. The only point that I'm making is that this is still a societal norm that the guy has to deal with. Whether the girl cares about him or not, that's different. You'll find out as you continue to date. Giselle, you'll probably be like, yo, totally appreciate that you hold the door for me, but I'm gonna need you to actually say something emotional and meaningful. Like, I'd rather you shut the door on me and say something from your heart on the other side of the door than to freaking keep holding doors and being a freaking...
Shut the door on me now, y'all.
But you know what I'm saying? Like,
well, that does say something.
It's very important to notice these roles. I remember when the last time Bobisa and I we did a relationship podcast, or we talked about it. It was more so like, what are your expectations as far as traditional and modern? Like, what is it that you really expect? Because sometimes there's a thing where, you know, a woman wants a traditional man, but at the same time does not want to be a traditional woman. And there's a conflict in that, because you want the guy to do all the things that he's supposed to do, like take care of you, make more money, you know, do all the chivalrous things. But at the same time, if you're not a traditional woman, is that, I don't want to say hypocrisy, but is that trying to have your cake and eat it too? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I love cake. I think that it's like, I think I've also realized there's a spectrum to this. So when we were talking about it, and I think we talked about this actually on it, is that the spectrum of it is, I don't want an extreme in either. Oh yeah, we did talk about this because this was one of the things you pulled from it. But like, I don't want an extreme in either. I want a balance of both, where we understand this is going to be an ebbing and flowing. That's a partnership. That's a relationship. There's going to be some seasons where it looks more traditional, and there's going to be some seasons, because life goes on for a while, that, and I hope and I pray and I believe that my next, like my real marriage will be like that, where it goes on for decades and decades and decades. There's going to be seasons where it looks more traditional and other seasons where it looks less traditional. And so I want to know that someone's adaptable and isn't holding to something that it should look like, so much so that they aren't aware and able to adapt to the realities of life.
Yeah. No, that's a great point. Now, let me ask you guys a question. Have you guys ever Googled what are the top things that men want?
Never.
No.
Never in my life.
Have men Googled the top things women want?
I mean, you got to, if you're asking me, the man that's on the mic right now, yes, I have. Because I'm nerdy and I like to study things. But do you think it's ironic that you haven't Googled top things that men want if men are what you're actually going for? Because then what I'm thinking is, where your starting point? Like, where's your point of reference on what men want if you're not asking?
I've read books. I'm not Googling.
Okay.
I'm not going to go to Wikipedia.
But what is Google actually helping you with? Google is
well, Google, the thing I spent a whole bunch of time in preparation for this, like Googling and going on multiple like sites, like, you know, where women are, where Forbes is, you know, talking about men, and I'm reading blogs from Bumble and Hinge and what women are liking, what they're not. You know, 20% of women not looking for long-term relationships, whereas in 80% of them on Bumble are looking for long-term relationships. Like, these are all stats that'll help you understand, if I am on Bumble, there are more women on Bumble who are looking for actual connection. Tinder drops significantly. So in learning apps and learning what men have said, so there was there was a study from Science Daily, and ironically in Australia, where they
You're welcome.
they interviewed 4,500 people, and this is what it said. I'm gonna read this to you, and I want to know what y'all think. A new study reveals that men who are extroverted and emotionally stable have more sexual partners. However, it turns out that the only quality that makes women more attractive to men is agreeableness. Although researchers interviewed twice as many men as they did women, they found that the positive correlation between extroversion and intensified frequency of sex was consistent across gender lines, meaning extroverted women and men have more sex than other people, which makes sense because shy people don't really, make that happen.
Because you're putting yourself out there.
Yeah.
Right.
Then it might seem obvious that men who are well-rounded, nice human beings are going to appear more attractive to women. But when researchers explored what character traits men find attractive in women, the only key indicator researchers could find was agreeableness, being warm, friendly, tactful, and generally getting on with other people well.
Yep.
So wouldn't that be something super important to know? And the reason I say that is because would you consider yourself agreeable? Or when you hear agreeable, what do you think that means?
That's a good question. Shotgun not.
Because most women, when I ask them that, agreeable automatically means submissive, no backbone.
Literally what I'm hearing.
That's what you're hearing.
And that's you go.
Sorry, Elyse said something earlier, and I agree with it. It's like, I know how to, this is a tricky part for me when I'm dating or I'm talking to someone. I know how to make people feel good. Even in my roles that I have at work and everything, like I command stages, I have to have meetings, I talk to clients all the time. I know what it's like to make someone feel good. So I know how to disarm a man. I know how to have a good conversation. And there's this point where I don't know. They're going to probably find me agreeable because I know how to have a great conversation with people and make them feel disarmed and make them feel like I'm a good listener and I'm gregarious. So they like that stuff. But then I need to take it a step a little bit further than just, did you like our conversation? Did I make you feel good? Because they might think like, wow, I really like Giselle. What are they getting at? They like the way I make them feel. And I think that though I'm at a point now where I want a little bit more than that, and I'm requiring a little bit more and really asking some tough questions and etc. Which something that I wanted to bring up is what I'm really looking for these days is that I can be my whole feminine and not have to exert my masculine energy all the time around a man. And I'm looking for his masculine to be healthy.
I'm so glad you brought that up because I was literally going to ask next, do you feel, because as you're talking, and Bobis had this issue too, because you guys are runners. Chantae, I don't know exactly what you do vocationally. Like if you're on stage is speaking.
Girl can sing.
Okay.
Grammy-nominated artist.
Whoa.
Okay, but see, that's beautiful. That's kind of like, operating in your talents. That can be feminine and be fine. What I hear Giselle and Bobis do is they have to transverse into their masculine side to accomplish all the things they're trying to doing. And a lot of women don't know how to shut off the masculine once they enter into a relationship, or they need the man to be as masculine or more masculine in order to allow their masculine to now subside. Now, do you guys find that an issue that if the man doesn't match your masculine, that you don't soften, but you feel almost like, shoot, I gotta be bigger?
I'll say this real quick and let everybody else chime in. The reason why my ex is my ex, the person that I was engaged with, one of the big reasons is that I was not, I wasn't having the peace and the ability to truly walk in my feminine because I had to do the thinking a lot. I felt like I had to do a lot of thinking and a lot of planning and a lot of, did we consider this? And I wasn't allowed to kind of be safe and take a step back and them take the lead. I don't want to take the lead in that type of relationship. I'll do that at work, but I don't want to do that in a romantic relationship.
Yeah, well said. Bobis, what did you feel?
I think I've gone through different stages of this. I think at the start, I was really excited to be, just like not masculine, not bravado, not whatever. And then I actually had a really tough time with it because I didn't realize I'm not very good at switching. And I thought it was his problem. And so what I've realized now is that he very much is in, like, he knows who he is as a man. And so for me, I was very attracted to that initially. And then there was this stage where I was like, I don't know, I guess I felt threatened by it. I don't know. I guess I'm still processing that. So permission to change that. But I don't know if I felt threatened by it, but I think I felt very scared by it as well, because I've had toxic, masculine, this is what I say. The word submission for women, especially women in church, can conjure up a lot of negative emotions. And so when he would talk to me about marriage and like that we would submit to each other and all that kind of stuff, in theory, I was like, cool. And then I was like, oh, I'm not okay with that. And I actually didn't realize that I am masculine in work mode when I have to be. But me, when I'm at my safest and chill, is not
masculine.
And you've seen it. Like,
yeah,
it's like
no, I love
chill.
it. Yeah.
And so I think that now it is, I've had to do my own self-discovery. And now I'm at this point where I can feel it. And I've never been there before. When I'm in my masculine, and not be ashamed of that, and be like, actually, this is needed right now. And this is me going to get it. And this is me doing this. And then I also feel when I shut this computer off and I go downstairs, like and this is where I'm at right now. So this might cha-cha a little bit, and I might go 2 steps backwards tomorrow or next week or whatever. But because it is a process, but I'm really enjoying the fact that I can go and lay on the couch and not have to fill the space of silence if there is some, and not have to be doing and going. And some of that I think comes into the Enneagram 3, the achiever, that I feel like I always have to do it and I can't have a nap because a nap means I'm lazy, which it doesn't. But I'm like, so for me, it's been a little bit more about myself accepting my own desire, I think, to be feminine. And I thought I was there before, but I've actually had to do a bit more work to sit in it without feeling, I don't know if the word is guilty for it. It's a mix of guilt and fear of what if this is used against me.
This is what's interesting that I haven't heard anybody say, which usually when you ask women what they want, this literally comes up, but nobody has said it. So either y'all genuinely don't think like any other women, but when we're talking about masculine and feminine, does a part of masculinity that you acknowledge in another person, a guy, have anything to do with income?
Yes.
Thank you for being honest. Chantae?
I mean, she said, why not? It's not the first thing that I think about.
I think that's important to say.
But is it important?
That specific question.
It's important.
It is important. That's good. Okay, because nobody said it in what they were looking for.
It's actually interesting.
Whenever I talk to women about safety, and the reason I brought it up, because you're talking about, I want to feel safe. I want to feel whatever. Giselle, I want to not be. I don't want to do these things. So usually when you're dealing with men like that, it's like they don't have motivation. They're not the go-getters. They're kind of like whatever. And that typically translates to guys who don't make money. So this is why I ask, is money a factor? Because for the rest of the world, that's usually in top 3. Money that is made, because it somehow equates to safety, security, and a measure of character, a measure of like the go-getter in him.
Yeah.
But nobody has mentioned it. So I just want to call out, does masculinity tie in with money?
It does for me. And I'm going to tell you, because I ask people now, I ask them about sex. I ask them about faith. I ask them about money and career. What I'm looking for is not so much that someone has a 9-to-5 traditional role, or they could be an entrepreneur. They could be doing what their thing is, right? So to me, it's, do you have vision? Because my vision of money is that money gives freedom. It affords you to be able to have like the lifestyle you want, to take care of the loved ones that you want to take care of, and all of that. So I'm looking for someone who's just not like, I'm straight as long as I have a roof over my head. I'm like, do you have no ambition? So more than money, I'm thinking about vision and ambition.
Okay, but does ambition equate to money?
I mean, I think it would. I think
okay, well then let me throw out a scenario. If there's a guy who's a teacher and his ambition is to mold these young minds at the best that he can, and he busts his ass trying to figure out how he can communicate math to his 7th graders. And he's coming up with new ways every week. He's like, I'm gonna try this because little Tommy's not getting it. And I drew this little paradigm and he's that's ambition. But he's fully in love with what he does. It just so happens that what he does pays him $35,000 a year. So is that guy okay?
I'm gonna just say real quick. It depends on the woman. We can't say that this is gonna, some women would be very happy with that. Me, not so much.
Okay.
Because I would say, great, have your ambition with that, with your $35,000 a year. But then am I gonna have to make an exorbitant amount, right, to help meet the lifestyle that I want both of us or that we both want to live? Because traveling, taking care of maybe our elderly parents, having a house in different locations, that requires more than $35,000 a year. So either you have some investments, you're flipping houses, you're doing stock, you're doing something apart from that to live the lifestyle that we want to live.
Okay, so then here's the gauntlet. So you have everything you want in the teacher. He does everything that you say.
I don't think she would.
No, I'm saying everything but this one thing.
That's not true. Because they don't share values. And she said at the very beginning that values were as important. And I can
But wait. What value doesn't he? That's not a value. Value is not travel.
Interest. It all speaks to
interest.
That same thing.
No, wait. Stop. Wait. You just said they don't share values. Values are core beliefs. There's values. We didn't.
Which would be how you see money. So that for me, it would be, to me, the way I see money equates freedom and security, right? So I want, for example, look, my parents had nothing. They were immigrants when they came to this country and they built themselves up. At the point of stage where I am in life, I have the recognition that I need to take care of my parents. There's a point now where that's what we're doing. So I can't be with someone who's making $35,000 a year and me, having maybe that same or going less or something like that, because I'm not only thinking about me, I'm thinking about our families, how we're taking care of them, the lifestyle that I want to live, the freedom that I want to have.
Okay, well,
how generous I want to be.
Now you're being more honest. So now in the sense of what you're saying is there's a lifestyle.
I'm honest to begin with.
I mean, I'm sorry. I didn't mean that way.
Yeah. Don't careful how you say that.
It's okay.
No.
I love you. I love you.
You're good.
I didn't mean like, I meant like, what's the correct word? You're being specific in the sense of there's a lifestyle that you would want to live. So the only thing that I'm asking is, so you have everything but that one thing. Do you still walk away?
If they're willing to get to where they are, from where they are to where I'm.
Well, not willing. It's because
yes.
most women, like when you're dealing with a man, like you'd like to fall in love with who the person can be, right? I think we've all been guilty of like, oh, if I love him the right way, he's gonna become or she's gonna become, and then we get sorely disappointed when they never rise to the level of how much we're loving them, right? Mm-hmm. So it's usually the rule of thumb is you meet someone where they're at, and if you can fall in love with where they're at, then everything else is going to be a bonus, right? Mm-hmm. So if they do rise, it's like, yes. If they don't, it's like, it's okay. I love who you are. So what I'm saying is in a real world, there's a very real possibility that the teacher that makes $35,000 can literally supply you with everything that you said that's a core value. When you're talking about traveling or taking care of your parents, and I'm not trying to like diss that those are bad things, but in just you and them, it's supposed to be like you and them planning for your future, not taking care of somebody else's future. So if he's like, babe, we can take care of us, and that's who I married, but I may not be able to take care of them, but I didn't know I was marrying them. So do you walk away?
That's not for me.
Okay.
That's just not for me.
Okay. So that was,
I know the responsibility that I have and how important that is for me. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't get with that individual.
Thanks so much, y'all, for listening to part 1 of this episode. We appreciate it greatly. Hey, like and subscribe if you guys are feeling this. Share it with your friends. We appreciate it so much. Please come back next week for part 2. Love you.